The book of Revelation, chapter 6 and verse 14. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna start off as always by giving all praise, all honor, all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha Kodash. A double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well, who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. A Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the elect out there, whoever you might be. And Shalom to the 144,000. It's the brother Amawan Padah from the GMS Denver camp, doing a quick lesson. Before we do our camp sit down here at GMS Denver, and it's in regards to this prophecy right here. The Bible is on point, man. We have the true book of prophecy. All right, the Hebrew Israelites, all right, are the true chosen people of the creator of all energy and existence. And he gave us the prophecies. All right. And the true prophets are breaking it down correctly in these last days. But this particular prophecy right here talks about nuclear destruction and how the elites of Esau are going to try to hide in the mountains, man. So let's go ahead and prove that real quick with a news article. All right. So check this out. This is from the peoplesvoice.tv, and this just came out May 6, 2025. It says trillions spent on secret underground cities to protect elites from near extinction event, ex-Bush official claims. Let's read a little bit of this. It says the U.S. government has funneled trillions, and not billions, not millions, but trillions of dollars into a covert network of underground cities designed to shield the elite from an impending near extinction event, according to a bombshell claim by former Bush administration official Catherine Austin Fitts. So check this out. It says, in a recent interview with Tucker Carlson, Fitts alleged that at least 170 high-tech bunkers, some buried deep beneath the ocean floor, have been constructed across America since 1998, hidden from public view and accountability. It's preparation for catastrophe, Fitts said. Fitts, who served as Assistant Secretary of Housing and Urban Development under President George H.W. Bush from 1989 to 1990, claimed $21 trillion in taxpayer dollars were funneled into the project between 1998 and 2015. $21 trillion, man. Estimated put into these underground cities. Not just underground little bunkers that you got in your backyard. I'm talking about like cities with tunnels and networks with semi-trucks bringing in goods and all type of shit. These damn devils have been planning this because they know that nuclear destruction is coming, as we just read. All right. Now let's jump down a little bit more. It says, she said in 2017, a 2017 report from Michigan State University economist Mark Skidmore indicated that much unauthorized spending, quote unquote, had been uncovered across the Departments of Defense and Housing and Urban Development during that time. Okay. That's where your tax money's going to, man. A lot of it's going to this right here. All right. A bunker where you're not invited. All right. Check this out. Look at this illustration right here. I knew about this years ago, but it says New York Post report after 2 years of combing through records related to already documented underground military bases. Fitts said she also looked into allegations of a wider bunker network. Comparing her research against the missing cache, Fitts said she was able to make a guess about how many facilities there really are. She claimed that 170 only applied to bases on U.S. soil and around its coastline, alleging that more exists across the world. And the bases are connected by an elaborate transportation system. You see those underground highways, right? She added, while claiming they are powered by a secret energy system known only to the military. Check that out. It says, I'm convinced that this energy exists. If you look at a lot of the really fast ships flying around the planet, they're not using classical electricity, she said, in an apparent reference to a spat of bizarre, unidentified aerial phenomena supposedly flying around the skies in recent years. So they're trying to link that into the chariots of Yahweh Shai Shai. Now, those so-called UFOs that they're seeing are not from the government. All right. Now, they do have different things that they fly around in, but we understand the difference between Esau's technology and the technology of the heavens. All right. Now, continuing on, it says those alleged bases are used not as just doomsday bunkers for the elites, Fitz claimed, but also as places for the government to operate secret operations, like a secret space program. The existence of elaborate underground government bases and bunkers is no secret. During the Cold War, the Cheyenne Mountain Complex was built inside a Colorado mountain to serve as a hardened base of operations for various military operations. It is currently used by the U.S. Space Force, and that's here in Colorado. And I've been around that area before, man. Yeah, they got this huge base carved into the mountain out here, man. All right. But it's not going to help them escape the nuclear destruction. All that shit is built in vain. These elites think that they can actually escape the judgment of Yahweh Shai Shai. All right. They know it's coming. They know that nuclear war is destined to take place and it's going to obliterate this place, man. All right. So, as we read in the scriptures, they would do this. And the Bible was written thousands of years ago, showing you that we have the true book of prophecy. Let's go back to the scriptures. All right. So we left off at verse 15 here in Revelation chapter 6, talking about how the kings of the earth, the leaders, the elites, all right, the military personnel, the workers, all right, the slaves they're going to have, working for them in those bunkers, they all going to die when the Lord shows up. Okay. If they're not of the elect. There will be no survivors in America, Babylon the Great. They're going to get cooked down there. Now it goes on to say, verse 16, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. And that Lamb is Yahweh Shai. All right. And Yahweh Shai's, coming back, returning in the midst of World War III. And you elites are not going to be able to hide from the wrath of the Lamb. All right. You see? They're going to wish that the rocks fell on their ass. That's how terrible it's going to be in that time. Especially when Yahweh Shai shows up with the host of heaven. All right, next verse it says, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? All right. Only the elect of the nation of Israel will make it out of this, man. And we got to be taken up into the chariots, man. Those so-called UFOs. The angels have to rescue us and take us to Yahweh Shai. All right. It talks about that in Matthew the 24th chapter. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. But just showing you, man, that the biblical prophecies that we bring out, man, they're faithful and true. All right, here we have the book of Matthew chapter 24, starting in verse 29. This is Lord Yahweh Shai speaking, right? It says, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. All right, Yahweh Shai. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And those clouds are referring to the vehicles of the angels, man, the celestial vehicles. All right. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So there you go, man. When a nuclear destruction takes place on the earth, all right, the elect are going to be taken up by the angels to be joined to Yahweh Shai. All right. That's how we're going to escape this thing. Lord willing, of the elect. Just wanted to bring that out. But you elites that plan on hiding in your underground bunkers, all right, trying to hide in the oceans and whatnot, you're not going to escape, man. All right. Especially if you're on the soils of America, you're not going to make it, man. I'm going to bring this out real quick. This is Jeremiah chapter 16 and verse 16. All right. It says, behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. What's it talking about, man? It's talking about those elect men that are given spiritual power. All right. You see, right now we're fishing, preaching the word, prophesying. But at some point in time, the Lord's going to turn us up. we're gonna go from fishers to hunters, man. And those who are outside of the source of America, Babylon the Great, you elites that have bunkers in other countries and whatnot, in Europe and other places, we're gonna search your ass out. We're gonna take you out of them bunkers and put you head first into captivity, man, to slavery. I'm just telling you before it happens. All right, because you're gonna have elites that are not in America who are gonna survive the nuclear destruction. All right, only to be put in captivity, to be hunted out of the holes and the clefts of the rocks of their bunkers, man. All right, real quick, I gotta bring this one out. This is I believe a Psalm of King David, if I'm not mistaken. Let's just verify that real quick. Yeah, it is a Psalm of King David. All right, as you can see right here. All right, let's jump down to the point right here. And he says, "Whither shall I go from thy spirit, or whither shall I flee from thy presence?" All right, King David was acknowledging the fact that you can't escape the Lord, man. All right, we are the creation. Where can you go to escape Yahweh Shema Shai? These devils cannot escape their judgment, no matter where they hide themselves at, man. All right, King David knew this. If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. Now, when it's talking about heaven, it's talking about the upper atmosphere. All right, that's another classification of the skies, man. Get the heavens above the heavens, and you have the third heaven, in which is the spiritual realm. All right, the dwelling place of the Heavenly Father, and the angelic beings. But it says right here, if I make my bed in hell, that's not talking about a place under the ground where you burn forever, like the Catholic Church and the Christian Church likes to tell you. There is no such place. It's talking about the ground, like military bunkers and whatnot. All right, Esau is digging into hell. All right, that's another word for underground. All right, according to the scriptures. All right, and King David said, even if I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. So Esau, you can make your bed in hell with all them $1 trillion bunkers. You're not going to escape the judgment of Yahweh Shema Shai. It tells you right here in the scriptures, man. He's omniscient, omnipotent. He's everywhere at once. You can't escape the Heavenly Father, dumbass. They finna get it, no matter where they are, no matter how far they dig into the ground. All right. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea. All right. You got, Edomites making undersea bunkers as well. All right. Down there on the ocean floor. It says, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. But the point is that you can't escape the presence of the Lord, man. He's everywhere. Okay. Next verse it says, if I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me. All right, you can't hide in the dark, man. The Lord sees you goddamn devils. Yeah, the darkness hideth not from thee, but the night shineth as the day. The darkness and the light are both a light to thee. All right. All right, here we have the book of Isaiah, chapter 2, starting at verse 17. It says, and the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of men shall be made low. And the Lord Yahweh, Bashmi Shai alone, shall be exalted in that day. All right, you proud ass Edomites with your technology and your engineering feats and whatnot, building those underground bunkers. It's not gonna suffice, man. All your pride is gonna be taken down low. All the pride of man is gonna be taken down low in the day of Yahweh Bashmi Shai, which is soon approaching. It says, and the idols he shall utterly abolish, and they shall go into the holes of the rocks and into the caves of the earth for fear of the Lord Yahweh, Bashmi Shai, and for the glory of his majesty when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth. And how's he going to shake the earth? Those thermonuclear missiles, man. Those are the weapons of his indignation, along with the chariots, the angels that are going to be here visiting the earth, getting down. All right. They're going to try to hide in the rocks, man. But it's going to be to no avail. The ones that are here in America. All right. And even then, in other places of the earth that survived the nuclear destruction, guess what? Like we read it earlier, We're going to take them out of the rocks, out of their little bunkers. We're going to snatch them up and throw them into captivity. All right, because you Edomites are going into slavery along with the other heathen nations. All right, there's no escaping. All right, in this verse it says, "In that day a man shall cast his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which they made each one for himself to worship, to the moles and to the bats." Yeah, you're gonna realize that all your little stupid idols, all your little statues that you bow down to, all right, you know, it's not gonna do you any good in that day. You're gonna be found out to be just idols and not the true living power. It says to go into the clefts of the rocks, you see, once again is mentioned, and into the tops of the ragged rocks for fear of the Lord Yahweh, Bashmi Shai, and for the glory of his majesty when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth. You see, the Lord's going to shake the earth, man. And Esau, you ain't going to make it, man. All right, especially if you're here in America. Ain't going to be no survivors except the elect. Let's prove that real quick. So this is Isaiah chapter 34, starting verse 8. All right. It says, "For it is the day of the Lord Yahweh's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion." Yeah, this is the payback for what you've done unto the children of Israel, man. All right. The Lord is going to bring the nuclear destruction in the midst of World War III, all right, along with the chariots, all right, of the angels to destroy these people for the things that they've done unto the Lord's elect, man. Well, the nation of Israel really is the elect. All right. We're the chosen nation out of all the nations on the face of the earth. All right. And you've afflicted us. So you're going to pay for it, man. You Edomites, of course, and then the rest of you heathen. All right. For all the shit, all the things that you've done unto the Israelites. Now it goes on to say, verse 9, "And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch." Everything gonna be on fire, man. In America, Babylon the Great. The entire landmass of America. All right. You see? "It shall not be quenched night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever," meaning for a long time. All right. "From generation to generation, it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever." Meaning that nobody's going to inhabit this land anymore, man. Once those nuclear missiles are detonated on this bitch, it's not going to be inhabitable, man, for humans. All right. Nobody's going to live here. It's going to be left as a memorial to those who oppose themselves against Yahweh Bashmi Shai. It's going to be left as a memorial to what happens to a nation in rebellion to the Lord, man. Destruction. All right. So there you go, man. If you're on the soils of America, your underground bunkers ain't gonna save you. All right, you're gonna die. So really, all those trillions of dollars is just a waste, according to prophecy, man. According to the truth. All right. Verse 11, it says, "But the cormorant," all right, these are like different, birds and whatnot. "But the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it. The owl also and the raven shall dwell in it. And he shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion and the stones of emptiness." Ain't gonna be no more state lines and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna be nothing left. All right. It's gonna be a habitation of birds and unclean animals and whatnot. "They shall call the nobles thereof to the kingdom, but none shall be there. And all her princes shall be nothing." Ain't gonna be no survivors, man. All right, here in America. Yeah, so I'm gonna end this lesson right here. I gotta head out, but I just wanted to bring that out, man. I find it interesting that Esau is talking about his $1 trillion underground cities and whatnot. All this money they put into it, and we understand prophecy states that they're not gonna make it, man. You see? All right. So, Lord willing, you were edified, damn, Salakia. Shalom to the elect, whoever you might be out there. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachel Kodash. A double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well, who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of Yahweh, Bashmi Shai. A Kwam Yasharala and a Bible Ball. Shalom.